Christmas time is here. Caroling and fear of the absurd toys constructed this year by toy manufacturing companies.
Oh, that's a lot of poop!
I come from a simple time when toys urge children to create their own stories or use their imagination. The 90s were the golden age for kids. Not only did we have S-tier cartoons like Rocko's Modern Life, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Doug. Those are all Nickelodeon cartoons. And that's when Nickelodeon was killing it. Disney, Cartoon Network, they didn't really get the brakes pumping until like the late 90s. Early to mid 90s, Nickelodeon had it popping. The 90s were also a pivotal moment for gamers too, with the launch of Zelda, A Link to the Past, or Super Mario 64 and Sonic. The toys of this time were also monumental. We saw the launch of big toy franchises like Tamagotchi, which I still have, or Tickle Me Elmo. The toys of today, however, are far more advanced and sometimes leave no room for imagination. Instead, toys today get straight to the point, like the Addison Rae Deluxe Music Fashion Doll. Wow, she does both music and fashion? Both music and fashion when she's not creating dance TikToks. This toy is basically saying, hey kids, learn how to get your chaotic schedules organized if you plan on becoming a basic social media influencer. Or toys like Leapfrog Clean Sweep Learning Caddy. Back in the day, Leapfrog only used to have either educational CD-ROM games, which is a video that I'm also working on, or just like other educational games that just really got the wheels moving. But now it seems like they're really just wanting kids to learn how to clean.
Is this child mopping a rug?
The yellow broom and dustpan to clean it.
This pretend play cleaning caddy toy encourages little ones to clean up their own, because no one likes cleaning up after other people unless you're getting paid a salary to do so, and even then it's kind of. For this video, we're examining how the top selling 90s Christmas toys compare to the toys today.
You just made.
So the boy fell asleep in the Toys R Us store, and he woke up with toys from the ceiling to the floor. We've got the Nintendo action set, including the control deck with double game pack and Zapper light gun for just $99.99 at Toys R Us. And we have all the hottest game cartridges at great everyday low prices. Love growing up with my Toys R Us kid. Toys R Us. You'll never outgrow us.
So why do we feel so nostalgic at Christmas anyways? Now that the days are shorter and the cold continues to creep in, we tend to seek out warmth, coziness, and things that give us the fuzzy feelings. The holiday season is aligned with feelings of celebration, connecting with friends and family, and reliving memories through traditions or reminiscing. We remember and reflect on the past while decorating the tree with our favorite ornament or drinking cinnamon spiced eggnog to classic Christmas songs. Around the holiday season, I enjoy baking Pillsbury sugar cookies, the break and bake ones, because who has time to actually bake cookies from scratch, right? Or lighting my favorite Fir Balsam candle from Village Candle. This one smells just like a Christmas tree. As a kid though, I loved browsing through holiday catalog or even the Toys R Us big toy book and finding what I wanted that year, circling each toy and then passing it back over to my mom. You can also see nostalgic elements present in popular holiday media. Popular Christmas music instantly transports the mind to times of the past, places, and circumstances. We're even seeing reboots of classic Christmas media. For example, the 1983 film A Christmas Story has a new adaptation that just released this year called A Christmas Story Christmas. Oh wow, and the reboot received an 80% score on Rotten Tomatoes too. That's pretty good. It's rare when a reboot or sequel receives such high praise because they're usually dogs. Nostalgia also had a hand in inspiring toys today, whether that is through revamped products or continuing famous series. For example, the Super Mario series introduced a really dope collaboration with Hot Wheels.
The power charger will blast you high.
Volcano blowout.
Blasting cars that glow in the dark.
Volcano blowout.
Cars racing through, coming down fast. Can you make it through before the blast? Volcano blast. It's a mid-air crash. And
Volcano
Volcano blowout set. Comes with 2 glow-in-the-dark cars. Batteries not included. Adult assembly required.
The Mario Kart Rainbow Road Raceway track allows kids to portray their favorite video game, IRL. This is so cool. I want this. What's stopping a kid from like pushing the other cars just off the track? They can't do that in the video game, but now they have full range to do whatever they want. I kind of wish they would expand the length of it too, just like the length of the racetrack, so we can either like go around a Christmas tree or go throughout like an entire home like it does in the video game. The 90s had its fair share of popular racetracks such as the Hot Wheels Crisscross Crash track set. My God, these tongue twisters, I swear. I can only say so many words in a given moment, and when I see tongue twisters like this, I'm just like,
Hot Wheels Crisscross Crash track set.
That was actually pretty good. The track set had 4 loops and car accelerators that resulted in epic crashes. While the 90s lacked the variety of series and brand collab that we have today, we did have some unique toys that challenged kids to build their own tracks, such as Connect sets. Back in the day, you had to do whole PowerPoint presentations so your parents knew the difference between Legos and Connects. I specifically remember the elaborate in-store displays that they would have of Connect that would immediately just like pull you into the store because they would usually have them towards the front. And they're even cooler commercials that showed kids building roller coasters and Ferris wheels. Speaking of Legos, who remembers the Lego Classic Brick Box? This ginormous hunk of plastic featured 790 pieces in 33 different shapes for you to create your most imaginative builds. Legos, for the most part, have kept the same idea of imaginative building, but today there are a wider range of models that kids can choose from. Even when browsing the Lego aisle at Target, I cannot stop obsessing over just how huge of a variety they offer when it comes to different models. And a lot of the models are taken from big movies that we love today or TV shows of the past. But either way, you're gonna see some type of brand within Legos that you love and you're just like immediately will be attracted to it. The hottest Lego kit of the season, however, is the Lego Ninjago Lloyd's Golden Ultra Dragon. It's already sold out at most retailers apparently, but if you are a fan of the Lego Ninjago show, there's still stock on the website, so you better hurry up. So many of the hottest toys today are also derivative from popular shows or movies, like I previously mentioned, like the Lego Marvel Infinity Saga I Am Groot figure. Kids can now build one of the most popular characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. To fill the demand for toys from popular TV shows and movies in the 90s, however, kids have the option of asking Santa for a Buzz Lightyear action figure, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers action figures, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures.
Yeehaw, dudes! I just love the Old West when things are wild and woolly and turtles are really turtles. Crazy Cowboy Don is as rough and tough as they come. Sewer Scout Raph is scouting things out. Bandito Bustin' Mike always bashes the bad guys. And Chief Leo, leader of the turtle tribe, is a real man's turtle. Yeah, I just love the Wild West. Of course, I don't like it too wild. Oh, it takes a good rider to handle them rockin' horses.
So a lot of action figures. But playing with action figures or toys were prominent back in the day, as they represent play in its most classic analog form. The category of action figures and dolls fueled the imagination and offered screen-free play for kids. When playing with toys with very little instructions, kids can combine their real-world knowledge with their imaginations to create stories. This also allows for them to expand their communication skills and use vocabulary that they have observed around them to explain the action figure's decisions and movements. By the 90s, toys did see more advancements and even offered some screenplay games as well. Tiger handheld computers were all the rage and were very popular amongst kids back in the day. They partnered with very popular movies and shows to offer unique gaming experiences. Tiger secured licenses for many of the top-selling companies to sell their own versions of games such as Capcom's Street Fighter II, Sega's was Sonic 3D Blast and Konami's Castlevania to Simon's Quest. These handhelds featured a static image on the back screen and digital characters that will move around in front of them. Those handhelds were the best thing since sliced bread. Tiger Electronics was an independent American toy manufacturer, best known for its handhelds, LCD games, the Furby, the Talkboy, Gigapets, and the 2XL robot. They also offered a variety of personalized games for Spider-Man, Jurassic Park, X-Men, The Little Mermaid, and so much more. And we can't talk about handheld games without talking about the Game Boy. Sure, the screens were only in black and white, and you probably went through a few different packs of AA batteries to keep it charged to continue playing your game. But finally, kids were able to take Mario with them on like long road trips. If kids of the 90s were not on the road playing their handhelds, they were more than likely playing at-home games like the Nintendo 64. The 90s were a continuation of the big at-home gaming explosion of the 80s. The Super Nintendo dropped in August of 1991, and right away, kids were adding this to their wish list for Christmas, along with games like Pilot Wings F-Zero, Super Mario World, Star Fox 2, and Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country remains to be my favorite to this day. Also Super Mario World 2, but man, you cannot beat the music from Donkey Kong Country. That is just... In the modern world, gaming looks very different. That is, unless you're playing the handheld Oregon Trail. Kids today have a larger variety when looking for their console of choice and their game to immerse themselves in. There are many modern gadgets that would not be possible without Game Boy.
Only in Donkey Kong Country. Leaping rhinos, giant bees, flying chimps. Only for Game Boy Advance. Rated everyone.
Including Nintendo Switch. Many popular games this year for kids that probably own Nintendo Switch are Splatoon 3, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Even take a look at Legos, for example. In the 90s, they were just the building blocks. They were the toy that if you had a kid who was interested in building, maybe a little bit of architecture, Legos, that was the go-to toy. Another current counterpart of gaming today includes like tablets, like the Amazon tablet or even iPads, that kids can also play a lot of different varieties of games on. Also want to piggyback on Furbys too, as I briefly mentioned them before, as they were created by Tiger Electronics. In the 90s, Furbys were seen as the weird alien furry friends of the future. Tiger Electronics sold a whopping 40 million of these things in its first 3 years.
Me Amanda.
No, you are Ashley for Degrassi.
Me and May. That's Furby.
And later the toy was revived in 2005 and 2012. I wish I could have gotten my hands on one of those. I'm obsessed with Furbys. I wanted one as a kid, but then I had friends that would tell stories of their Furbys waking up in the middle of the night, and I was not about that life.
Wake up. Me hungry.
Instead of Furbys though, children today have Feisty Pets. You don't want to get on the wrong side of these little guys. These toys have been compared to the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of toys. Like Furbys, Feisty Pets also have personalities. If I had to choose between a Furby and a Feisty Pet, especially with the appearance that Feisty Pets have when they, get angry or whatever, I'm gonna choose a Furby. Another close counterpart of these type of toys includes fingerlings, interactive baby monkeys. If you've ever been the type to wonder, I wonder what it would be like to conveniently have my pet on my finger at all times, then this is the toy for you. You are probably a big fan of Rufus the Naked Mole Rat from Kim Possible. Sure, kids today have a lot of options when browsing for toys and games, but toys today basically have everything at kids' fingertips. And this doesn't really allow for vague creativity and imagination. Instead, toys offer more guided experiences and imaginative narratives that the kids can build off of. That is, if they even choose to play toys, because more than likely they'll be playing video games. And let's be honest, video games are pretty bad. Today's why not? When it comes to toys, kids have everything at their fingertips when it comes to video games and when it just comes to getting on the internet. Kids today are gonna grow up having a variety of different hobbies that they can choose from, which will probably play a huge part into how long they tend to put their attention and focus into one specific thing. How is this gonna affect them in the future? Will they be able to stay focused on one particular hobby for a span of time? Or will they constantly be wanting to change things up because they're getting bored with one option? That about wraps up this video. Thank you so much because I have reached finally over 150 subscribers. Actually, making today's video has been kind of a struggle. Just as I'm like starting to put all of my energy into these different buckets, not only have I dedicated time to creating content here on YouTube, I also dedicate a lot of time to creating content on Instagram and TikTok as well. With all of that, I'm also job searching because I got laid off, and that has also been a headache in itself. All these different areas that I'm putting my energy into have honestly been kind of burning me out. I'm really enjoying creating content. I'm a very productive person, so if I'm not creating, then I'm depressed. I know I have to remember not to just like only look at the numbers. This is gonna take some time to kind of continue growing my channel over the years. I say all of this to say thank you for everyone who has engaged and supported with my content. I guess I'll keep chugging along from here.